Greetings, geniuses. This video will cover another topic from the INFJ perspective, as usual. And I'm going to talk about how to break bad habits and make sure I fully explain that I am not the source of all wisdom on this topic. Well, maybe in one way. And that way is I've made all kinds of mistakes and learned many ways of not to do things. But this is kind of more of an introspective topic for those of you listening, and I'm trying to get to the source of what our bad habits might be so that we can take care of them, improve on them, cut them off completely, or start moving in a better direction. So, like I said, I know from my own experiences and many lessons learned that I've had a tendency, especially earlier in life, but still today, to learn the hard way on certain things, and the thinking that I know better and we all are stubborn on certain things. So I'm sure we can all agree on this to some extent. And we have to learn things the hard way, or something just has to become so obvious that it's wrong or it's hurting us before we change our ways. And so I've learned certain things very well because I kept trying to make it work a certain way and it never would. And then I finally tried it the right way and bam, everything was magical. Go figure, right? So I guess without going into details about what the habit is, because we all have different kinds of bad habits, we could put out a couple quick examples, such as maybe you have a habit of sleeping in too late, or watching too much TV, or on the computer or phone too much, which is a lot of us. Or it could be something more serious, like hiding something from somebody, doing anything that you know you're not supposed to be doing. Those can be not only mistakes, but fall into the bad habit category if it's a repetitious or perpetual thing that we're doing. So everybody falls into different categories, I suppose, as to how we can actually break the habit, whatever that is. I think for a lot of things, the slow or gradual approach, but a steadied and purposeful plan is a good way to go. Smoking comes to mind. I used to be a smoker a long time ago. But for me, it was actually cold turkey was the best. And anytime I got sick, that made it super easy for me to quit, because the cigarettes tasted horrible, and I already wanted to get better because I was sick. So for me, that was always the easiest time to quit. And I did quit many, many times before actually doing it for good. But for a lot of people, that method doesn't work. So it would be wrong for me to preach that if you're a smoker, you should just quit cold turkey, because that's what I did and it worked for me, so it must work. And even though that's a physical addiction as well as a mental one, because of nicotine, it really is no different no matter what the habit is. And there is that brain connection or chemical reaction to when we feel like we're getting something that we want. And I'm no scientist or physiologist, etc. So I'm not going to go into all that. But you've probably seen some of the videos about that's why phones can be so addictive, is because every time we get a message or a beep or whatever. I can't think of the chemical, of course, at this moment, but it's like a little high. It's like the fix that we get. And so there's even the chemical reaction going on there, just using our phones. But so back to the habits and breaking them, it really is different for everybody. And so like I've talked about in previous videos, when we have some sort of issue, whatever that is, first we need to identify what it is exactly. And then, very simple, we need to make a strategy that we can move away from it. And it doesn't mean that it's going to happen overnight. In fact, the very opposite. Depending on how ingrained that habit is, it could take weeks, months, or years. But I can only give you the hope in the future of whatever this habit is that you have, that you can get away with it, because I have totally been the example. And what I mean by that is I've had plenty of problems, whether it was a lack of self-esteem or overly judging people, and so many other things that were really just holding me back from the person I wanted to be and the person I wanted to live my life as. But I just kept perpetuating it, and I had no plan to break away from that. But the moment that I did, and I started to see myself as the person I wanted to be and not caring what others think, then I started to live more freely. And you really are breaking off those shackles of whatever the bad habit is, breaking off the old person, as it were. And I wish there was a quick fix that we could just say, oh, I don't want to do this anymore because I know it's bad for me. And then, bam, it's done. And like I said with the smoking example, maybe that is you. And I don't know what the habit is that you're thinking of, but maybe you're the cold turkey person, and you can just stop whatever that is and move in a completely new direction, and problem solved. But it's probably not going to be easy still, of course, but you can do it. And we probably all have different things that some we can just quit immediately, and others take time. And that's probably the short answer to just cover all things briefly. But like I said, I have been far from perfect, and I've learned so many lessons the hard way. But I've come out on the other side, and I'm thankful to God for that, because I am very unworthy of the blessings that I've received and for just making it this far in life. And that's partly because of what other people have done to me, I would say, in a short way. And also because of the way that I lived life, especially as a late teenager and early adult at times, and other events. I had chronic pain, and doctors were just throwing all kinds of crap at me. And of course I was taking it because I thought it was helping me, making me feel better. But that could have easily killed me. And so I'm kind of a walking, talking miracle. And so when I say that I'm very blessed and lucky to be here, I really mean it. And that's one of the many reasons I have such a passion to share with you all and bring you wisdom, experience from hard lessons learned, because I really have learned a lot of things through many years. But just have faith in yourself, have faith in God that He can help you to break whatever it is, break whatever chain, is holding you back, and you can do it. But you're going to have a strategy, and you might need someone to give you accountability. You might need to start that strategy by talking to somebody that you trust and kind of laying it out there. This is a channel that's meant to be introspective and to get you out of the box. And I know for myself too, and for INFJs can totally relate. We like to think that we can come up with all the answers and do it all ourselves. But we also know, one way or another, that certain things we have to ask for help. And we all do. There's certain things we can't do by ourselves. We can try, we can fake it, and maybe we can even do it, but it'll take a lot longer than asking for help. And every situation is different, so I often try to explain things in a general way, but in a way that gets you thinking really about what your problem is and what you should start doing to solve it. So I hope this was interesting and introspective for you, as I'm always trying to help you break on through to the other side. As that song just popped in my head. Some of you know what I'm talking about. But I will look forward to bringing you another video in the near future. And so until next time, I'll see you soon, genius.